You're watching On Air podcast right here. Make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Y2K भनेर I just want to do a little bit of recap. Y2K मा चाहिँ के थियो भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ 2000 को त्यो न्यू इयर्स इभ पछि चाहिँ त्यो 2000 मा चाहिँ त्यो 0000 भएर के भएर चाहिँ मलाई अहिलेसम्म याद छ कि त्यो कसैले भनेको कि नथिङ इज गन वर्क के अरे इन्टरनेट पनि चल्दैन सफ्टवेयर पनि चल्दैन के पनि चल्दैन फोन पनि चल्दैन त्यस्तै के थियो के अरे त्यतिखेर इफ आइ एम नट मिस्टेकन
सो आई थिङ्क अलिकति ओभर हाइप गरेको थियो अलिकति त्यो फियर मङ्गरिङ बढी थियो पिपल डिन्ट नो मच बट दे मेड लट अफ नोइज अबाउट ओ वाइ यु नो प्रब्ली इट वाज अलिकति भनौँ न मान्छेहरूले त्यो हाइप क्रिएट गरेर काम पनि बढी पाउँछ भनेर हो कि तर एकदमै फियर मङ्गरिङ चाहिँ थियो त्यसबाट एउटा के भने लट अफ अल दिस टेक्नोलोजी थिङ्स आर अन बेस्ड अन हाइप के सो Y2K एक्चुली वेन इट ह्यापन नथिङ नि त्यसपछि त हेर्दाखेरि त के भयो त खास केही त्यस्तो त भएन नम्बर रिसेट हुन्छ यहाँ वा तर यु नो ओइल रिग्स वन्ट वर्क अर द सेटेलाइट्स वन्ट वर्क सो देयर वाज सो मच गोइङ द न्युक्लियर वेपन्स माइट यु नो जस्ट फ्लाइ बाई वाट एभर तर त्यो त केही पनि भएन नि त होइन सो या ट्रु सो देयर वाज लट अफ हाइप एन्ड लट अफ पिपल गट लट अफ वर्क फर नथिङ बट देन या सो द्याट वाज द फर्स्ट भन्ने एउटा चाहिँ नि इन्फर्मेसन टेक्नोलोजीमा चाहिँ फर्स्ट मेजर एउटा फियर फ्याक्टरबाट चाहिँ ओभरकम गरेको टाइम चाहिँ हो
त्यो चाहिँ एक्ज्याक्ट टाइम होइन वाउ सो इन्ट्रेस्टिङ एन्ड देन व्हेन डिड यु गाइज मिट
So we met actually around the Y2K time.
2000 तिर
2000.
Post Y2K.
Yeah, post Y2K. I think immediately after the New Year's. Y2K पछि नै होला. Yeah.
हजुर के गर्नुभएको थियो त्यतिखेर you finished your chartered accountancy कि
No. I was actually studying in Delhi at that time. होइन म चाहिँ नि दिल्लीमा मेरो ग्रेजुएसन गरिरहेको थिएँ सो त्यो बेलामा लाइक यु आई वाज अल्सो च्याटिङ इन द वर्ल्ड वाइड वेब सो द्याट वाज हाउ आई मेट हिम एक्चुली एएसएल गर्दै भेट्या
हो र
या एक्चुली सी टोल्ड मी टु गेट आउट अफ द च्याट रुम यु टु ओल्ड टु च्याट भनेर चाहिँ नि फर्स्टमै इन्सल्ट गरेको थियो
सिरियसली कुन च्याट रुम डु यु रिमेम्बर
So there was a chat room called saja.com, right? So so I was in Delhi, right? अनि दिल्लीमा चाहिँ नि नेपालको पनि एउटा आफ्नै च्याट रुम आउँदैछ होइन भन्ने एकदमै हाइप थियो so that was when you know the next day that the chat room is going to launch भन्ने एकदमै हल्ला भइरहेको थियो so then the next day when it happened so I logged into saja.com and there was another fellow on the room, right? So there were just two of us. Ani, so obviously you have to have a conversation, right? So that is how it started.
Wow.
So yeah, so it started on a site called saja.com, which later I came to know that he was hosting it. So that was why he was there in the first place.
Yeah, so
you were the admin.
Yeah, you were the admin. You could throw people out. You could let them in.
I was a bit of a dada out there. So yeah, and that was I had an unfair advantage. Let's say like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is fantastic. How did you end up using the internet here as a India as a portable?
So India, that was the first time. I mean, 1998 तिर होला when I first started using the internet. Before that, I was in high school. So 1998 मा चाहिँ इन्डियामा पनि फर्स्ट टाइम सत्यम अनलाइन भन्ने चाहिँ इन्डियाको फर्स्ट ISP had just rolled out its dial-up services.
Okay.
Delhi-ma. So I happened to be staying at my friend's house. I know उसको चाहिँ दुईटै दाइहरू चाहिँ computer engineers-हरू थिए. So they were all of course going to US on the H1 visa that Binay was talking about. So उनीहरूको घरमा चाहिँ कम्प्युटर लिएर आयो के अब चाहिँ नि अब बाहिर जानलाई अमेरिका जानलाई so we need to have a computer and internet connection so that you know we can now communicate over email. के long distance is still very expensive इन्डियामा पनि. So that was my first exposure to internet. I still remember that day when those folks came to, you know, the Satyamko technicians when they came to connect the internet, right? All of us were there. All of us were excited. Internet not, you know. Kyo. So that was the day when I just, you know, opened my email account, right? Banera, I think it was hotmail.com. Hotmail थियो. So that was how I discovered internet. Okay? And one, yeah.
And one?
And one thing led to another. त्यसपछि अब इन्टरनेट चलाउँदै थालेपछि those times
What was your real name? What was your name on the Sanjay.com मा के थियो त्यो chat room मा त नाम अर्कै हुन्छ नि आफ्नो नाम हाल्दैन नि मेरो त अर्कै थियो नि नेपाली न्युजमा के थियो हजुरको
त्यो नभन्नु मलाई
के हजुरको के थियो भन्नु त what was your name
No, I'm not going to say this on air. No way. Yeah.
There's
But yeah, it was a hilarious name when you come to think about it right now.
I'm glad you were playing like uni, and I still remember there were some friends who were just like pretending to be girls, or some guys
No,
pretending.
I was-
and you were like, oh,
Yeah, I had my gender sorted out. there.
sorted out. And then when did you guys meet in real life? Virtual matter la kura bhayo, real life ma?
2000? 2000.
2001 मा नै होला हैन
No, 2000.
2000 yeah. So
2001 मा we got married. So 2000 I think we met.
Yeah, so that was pretty
So,
fast.
Yeah, so that went really fast from there.
From internet to meeting and then straight get
Yeah,
married.
straight.
yeah.
How long?
So I think we met somewhere in 2000 after the Y2K. I think June, July tira hola.
Yeah.
And we dated for a year and a half. And end of 2001, around in December we got married.
So त्यसको मतलब यसो बुझायो त्यो फर्स्ट इन्टरनेट कपल त यहाँ रहेछ नि त नि त्यसको मतलब एक
Yeah.
साइड भन्ने हुने होइन र
Yeah, I'm sure त्यो चाहिँ नि we were the pioneers even
even on online,
Yeah,
online
dating.
dating and
Online
getting married.
dating.
अब त टिन्डरको जमाना छ हैन you can swipe left right but then I was the only one. It was a ghost chat room. There was no one. We were hoping that people come but it was a rage. त्यो chat room चाहिँ saza.com it became a rage. And everybody in town, whoever was interested, logged in and they were chatting. And it was a very fun place to be at that time. You know, harmless kind of a fun. Or some people were pretending to be a girl or a guy. त्यो पनि थियो होला. तर most likely it was a fun place for everyone.
Yeah.
And then somehow the end of the bargain, you know, that's where we met and we got married. The first time I met her, she said, "Oh, how old are you?" So I said, "This is my age." She said, "Okay, you should go, go to your wife or something, you know." So first was the insult. I said, "Hey, I'm looking for a wife, you know, here." So that's how it started. And here, one thing led to the other, and then after a year and a half, we ended up getting married.
Wow.
Yeah.
So interesting, so cute. First, remember, first internet couple of Nepal, just
So we
remember.
pioneered the thing also.
Yeah.
Saza.com बाट
Yeah, Saza.com. We used to have Saza.com parties in Nepal.
के भयो Saza.com हेर त छ कि छैन त्यो डोमेन पनि छ कि छैन
छ
पार्टी
के
हुन्थ्यो पहिला
Saza.com भनेर party हुन्थ्यो where all
So
the
a young guy called Sakar, he got that started. He came to me and said, let's do this thing together. So we said, yeah, why not do it? Internet ko bandwidth was very expensive. I hosted it, you know, and we perfected the distribution side of it in the sense like we made it popular. And then rest is history.
तपाईले हाम्रो क्लिप एकदमै एन्जोय गर्नुभयो होला अब पुरै भिडियो हेर्नको लागि चाहिँ युट्युबमा सब्स्क्राइब गर्न नबिर्सिनु होला This program is brought to you by Vyas Studios.